Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to
Good morning.
Adventures in the TARDIS. Hi, Quill.
Hello.
Long time no here. Not long time no see.
So we're gonna have to find out if this new chapter has anything to do with grape juice.
There is no way. That's what I like. This is not Dr. Image. There is something different about this picture.
Well,
There you
that's
go.
an interesting story. Yeah, he knows what's up.
I guess I'm this one now. But yeah, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Adventures in the TARDIS once again. With me, Takashi, and the author, Quill, who is listening to me, watching every word that he wrote down. So, this ladybug has followed someone who is not a doctor, but they are also time travelers.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna be flashed in a different sense afterwards. She's gonna forget everything at one point.
Well, yeah. Should try to protect the natural flow of the timeline.
You have to be evil. So let's see. For now, it can be just normal really. Yeah, why not? I think this one doesn't have I mean, if they start singing, I can just swap. Let's see. Verse 7. Edging to a familiar territory. There's no but my mind just autocorrected it. I quickly awakened. Based on the sensation alone, I noticed I am not in familiar territory. No, you are just edging to it. In this of my home, I would be sleeping on a different surface. Also, by thinking a money sound would be all around me. I should have awakened to the feeling of things crawling along my heart. Because I am not feeling that, I conclude that I have awoken somewhere not familiar. I mean, yeah, because the place is not familiar, I have awoken in a place that's not familiar.
Right. Yep.
This puts me on alert. I immediately test to see if I can move my hooves, as which if I'm tied up or not. I know this because if I awaken someplace not familiar, I might have been captured by an enemy. Which would actually make sense because you are a spy.
Yeah.
But no, I can move my body just fine without restraint. Then what is probably blankets on me. Then my surroundings became more visible with golden light filling it. I take it to its source and discover that it's centered around the horn of Salazar. When I see his face, a voice starts flooding back to my mind to have explained how I got here and who he is. Is he in the same bed?
That's established yet.
My deepest apologies, my lady, as I expressed it sympathetically. We know how overwhelming this information can be. We have seen it before, and I am sorry. I think in wonderment at him, I suddenly realized something startling. I told the blanket covering me, and this arrived to my horror, that I have reverted back to my true form. And we have done it. This doesn't surprise me though. I know I have to maintain concentration on my transformation spell towards some alternate form. Also, don't worry, you will forget this. Unless I devote extra mana energy during the initial casting towards a specific form. This stupid transformation spell doesn't hold if I don't concentrate on it. I need to evolve to get true transformation. I mean, that's the main goal of hers.
Yeah, it is for her.
I didn't do that last time I was awake, however, so I waited to buy two from them before I even hit the ground. I mean, if you wanted immortality, that would be the way to go. By the way, because if you were just normally immortal, then you would go through all the tests and you would become a lavrat. Or become evil. But if you could just change, that's a new person altogether.
Yeah. Through shapeshifting, you could pretend to age along with the others.
Yeah? Fear not, my lady, said a mid-me incoming voice. We already knew what you looked like before. Seeing you now as you are, meant nothing new to us. Remember, we are from the future. But in the future you don't look like this either. Right?
Yeah?
So you have claimed. I turned to him, wickedly sadly. I don't like it when others behold my true form. Especially if they knew I can change it. It feels like I'm naked or something like that. Right? I mean, for her it does.
Read the next sentence.
That means I am more exposed. Writing it out and in a dangerous profession, that usually means I am more vulnerable in a bad way. I mean, yeah, this is the closest to what humans feel when they are naked. Because bodies are usually naked to begin with.
Like capturing Batman, then taking off the mask to discover who his secret identity is. Now you can attack Bruce all you want, realizing you're actually attacking the Batman too. She feels in a similar way. If she's exposed in her true form, then they might start targeting her in her normal day job or perhaps her family.
Yeah. Most of those villains in Batman series are not that bright. If they can figure out who the man behind the mask is.
Some of them have managed it.
I mean, the brighter ones, yeah.
Yeah.
But if they're telling the truth, and they are from the future, then there is no telling what else they know about me. I may have been great at keeping secrets in my time, but I have no idea what is public knowledge in the future, or the kind of resources they have to access this information. As you have probably surmised by now, you are somebody who plays pivotal roles, not just in the present, but in the future as well. As I explained. Because of that, we can't allow you to keep your memories of us. Allowing you to do so would alter the timeline, potentially beyond recognition, and we are invested in protecting this way from changing too much. Oh, the word, you might be actually good if you keep your memories of us.
Yeah, could be.
At the same time, though, a rogue element has entered the timeline from the future. Trying to undermine me and probably it vastly different from our own. I mean, what if her goal is not revenge? What if she just wants to turn you into good? And that she would have a better normal life.
It would definitely be a big change in history.
Yeah? But for her, it would be better. That she would have never met the symbiote, and she would be just a normal changeling. I've been playing among others. He's actually way less concerned about protecting the timeline. It might even be her plan to authorize in specific ways. He knows you play a pivotal role in the story as well, including her own. As such, we are well aware that you could become a target for her. In order to protect you efficiently, it is important for us to secure your cooperation. To do that, we feel it is important to temporarily fill you in on what's going on. If and when she is removed and attacked later, then we can move on to the next step. Why can't I just do that with my new knowledge? I complained almost foolishly. It is what makes me wince. But right now I feel desperate enough to press any argument I can. What if I use the knowledge you give me to ensure I do the same thing? I isn't going to know what I know or don't. That is true, but you would definitely think differently. There are things you wouldn't have known. But, oh, wait, I have to charge an attack against this city with my force, even though I know that I will be defeated.
Yeah?
And act like I'm not gonna be defeated.
I also have to break out in a song.
Yeah. Honestly,
Who says a girl can't have it all?
all that is important.
All that is important is I continue to do the same list of things that your history knows.
Yeah, it is the number is messing with my brain. I don't know if it's good, okay or not. Let's commonly use it. You continue to do the same list of things that your history knows. No, it's not that easy. Suddenly lowers his eyes as he shakes his head sadly, then looks at me again as he says, I'm afraid that is not going to work. If you know too much, which might have already happened now, you will undoubtedly make different decisions in the future, especially in your last moments. I mean, all she had to do was say I'm sorry. And then she wouldn't have turned into stone, right? They gave her multiple chances. I should have gladly, as I asked. Would that really be so bad? I mean, why should I give up my memories of this encounter and not you? Don't you have a history too? What makes you so different? Plenty of things, he answered smoothly, as he leaned back in his seat and floated his bubble pipe back to his hips. His lips. His hips, yeah. I smoked my pipe in my hips. And his hips don't lie. My whole history, for one. We are all different ponies, my dear. and we had different roles to play. Mine inspired me to learn and grow towards my journey through time and space. Look, here's the roof to his chest. Like when like where and when I come from, I am a prince of a prosperous nation, and I don't mean much to other worlds and timelines, but it does to my home. In the gestures around us. Because this place can travel through time, though, I can pause my analysis and I explore. However, my personal timeline is still advancing, so I will eventually have to retire back to the kingdom I came from, and resume my analysis from there. Because if I don't go back home in time, then they will be surprised how much I have grown in 2 seconds. By then, I will take the lessons I have learned during the journey and apply them back to my home in a way that will advance my society in safe and harmonious way. I mean, the only way to stop that is if there was a way to stop the advancing of age while time traveling. Then they would be able to do multiple adventures.
Yeah. Magic was able to pull that off.
I mean, that's why the doctor said, I think to Rose as well, that if you come with me, then you will never come home. Because it will be very strange to come back to. Or if you come home, you will have to come back in almost the same time passed as you were with me. Because
it had occurred to me, pretty much all of the Doctor's companions' birthdays are probably out of sync with the Earth plane.
Yeah?
Because their bodies aged a certain amount, unless they really do arrive at their birthday again. It'd still be out of sync in some degree.
Yeah, for the ones who were in Earth and they came back home. Oh, you were gone for more than 2 years. Where were you? We told you that.
Mine will be in 3 days.
Oh, happy birthday.
Not yet, but in 3 days it will be. And I think you'll even be doing a reading during that time.
No,
the second of this will be the January 22nd, but at midnight it'll be the 23rd, and you might read an hour at that time.
Oh yeah, I forgot you are 1 day before, so it's gonna be all. So for me it's 2 days. For you it's 3.
Yep.
A
sentence, I think, to do that. On the second to last sentence. To do that. Go further down.
Ah, yeah. I was like, wait, at the beginning of the sentence. To do that, it requires a lot of recognition of one's place. Not just an individual level, but much guidance here too. I frown and I complain. I just don't think that's fair. You can just show me all this wonders that take it away later. I mean, that's what I will do. Not unless I run away. We wouldn't even be talking to each other right now if it weren't for the new requirement in this time. And I argued. What we have between us is just a make and fall between himself and I. It's a temporary arrangement. Trust me. Give the pushing motion towards me. What you accomplish in history could major repairs to time. You support an entire new species, and that species goes on and goes to do other important things throughout history. All of that is that if you don't protect you now, will allow you to keep your memories. I'm sorry, my dear, she said in Ethereum. But in your case, there is too much at stake here. Every technical relation you can know, at least for the moment, the fact you will play such an important role in history. Hey, you are not listening to the key point. You are spawning a new species. That means you are gonna meet the new species and you will accomplish your transformation. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yep. She already knew she planned that. He's basically confirming you'll succeed.
Yeah, but she's not listening to that part. She's listening to, oh no, I'm gonna lose my voice.
And another thing is, she's learning she can't stay with him.
Yeah.
Right now, that kind of hurts.
I frowned and I looked down from a sitting position. We have this moment together right now, reminded me more gently. Even now you are affecting history. By meeting me, you affect me and everything I will become. That alone is the magic of the emotion. In your way, you are affecting the bigger picture. Likely far more so than you realize. I look back at him while holding my crown. Come with me. Do you trust me? He suddenly crashed as he ran smoothly from the scene beside me. I want to show you something. I want to show you the world.
Probably a lot more than that.
Ah. Okay.
I'll show you these grapes.
I mean, that's... I want to show you something. This is my girlfriend. Okay. I approximately. Then I should follow him. What's the purpose of that? I will not remember that. Even if you show me.
I don't suppose you see the first movie, The Matrix?
I have seen it. A long
Okay.
time ago, so I don't remember too much, but...
This scene kind of reminds me of something in that, although I didn't specify Salazar's position, which was beside the bed. Perhaps I should have done that, but it never said that. Anyway, when Neo woke up in his room and then asked, he can't ever go back to the Matrix, can he? And then Morpheus replied, no. But even if you could, would you want to? You know, that whole conversation they had with him when he eventually admits that he suspects Neo's the one, it's kind of what occurred here. There is even one word for word similarity near the beginning. He has just basically told her, you will be the chosen one of a grand destiny for a certain species.
So,
but it's hitting her very differently at this moment. It is what she planned, except now she's being exposed to new information, which is even more enticing. But he's saying, no, you can't keep these memories. You have to resume the destiny you had before.
yeah, this is literally the piercing that... Yes, if you were now, I would present you to Pierce, but you don't have a choice, you will take this one. You will forget everything and then go back to your own life after we are done.
You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe.
When I exit the room, I was apparently in. I see beyond that it is in the hallway that has an arch design to it from the ceiling. There are several other doors in this hallway in both directions. As I look back and forth between them, the impression I get from this place is what seems to be Isabel Academy. There's something like a dorm room at a college campus. It has a formal and academic vibe to it. I've actually been to a place like that, just like this. I also noticed that the broad, tall, and intimidating minotaur I met earlier is right outside the door, outside the room I was in. But I admit, he glanced at me with a very hostile warning. It was the kind of look That seems to say, if you even consider harming my niece, I will crush your hand like a grape. Like a what? How?
You know, even I'm surprised. I didn't remember that line. It makes sense in its own context, of course, but that's funny.
There's not even a context for grape juice. And if you catch her hand like grape, it's gonna be grape juice.
Sure.
Okay, we are done. Goodbye, good night. Just kidding.
Need to breathe.
It's hard.
Oh man, I enjoy our reading sessions together. Can't wait to what would you title it next?
I can't believe this. I'm sorry, I need to read a little bit. And he didn't even say anything, by the way. It's just
That's
her
true.
thinking that.
Guessing from his expression.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because he knows what she will become.
Right. She doesn't though. But she's aware of the species change because that's part of her plan. And she might even guess there's something dark about it because she knows she's using dark magic to accomplish that. That's pretty much it.
I mean, if you think about that, it's a new species, and she wants to take over. So it is literally an
Yeah.
invasive species.
So yeah, you understand his reaction. He's a
Yeah.
bodyguard. He's trying to keep his royal leader safe.
I mean, even if he lies you, you would still do this. Because he has to keep the pretense that, yes, I'm here to defend, first and foremost.
Yeah.
I shiver on the side of him, because I know that he could easily carry through with the test. He underestimates power simply by standing there. I generally don't think I can beat him, regardless of what form I take. Ah, so you have already lost. You are mentally lost already. Even though you can just turn into a whale and just crush him. Right?
Herself. She might not fit in the hallway in that case.
He doesn't have to.
Hmm.
Just needs 2 seconds in that form. Crush everything, him as well, and then turn back.
The answer is yes, by the way. He does strike that strong of an impression.
Yeah, so he's doing a good job. Something I noticed from him, that I see and disturbs me though, that he seems very convinced that I might try to harm his lord. Why? This has something to do with what he knows of my future self. I mean, once again, he doesn't need to know that. He has to literally be convinced. He has to be ready for everything.
Yeah, he's a bodyguard.
Yeah. I not see it this way with everybody. Yes. And I'm just overthinking this. And not just everybody, every creature. Right now I can't rule out any possibility, so I decided to set it aside for now, until I collect more evidence that favors one of those possibilities. How did we get here? I asked and I turned That's odd to follow Salazar. I mean, you are still in the TARDIS or not? We don't know. We will see.
It doesn't look like it from what she's saying.
From what she's seeing, but the TARDIS can be ultimately huge.
Oh yeah.
Behind me, I hear the heavy hooves of a Minotaur, and he seems to storm his way up to us. But maybe for him, this is casual and normal way to walk. Why come here of all places? I am asking. I mean, wasn't there plenty of room in the ship you were escorting me to? Madam, you are still in my ship. That's your way, shoulder at me. So that's to me with a amused grin. Just follow me. Each other. Some of those answers might become clear to you. And you will forget them. Ah, okay. I reply in a mystified way. I continue to feel the building stare of the black Minotaur behind us. I try to resist, but I end up looking over my shoulder at him and go with them. But my head is fat. And he's like, good. Hear me. Comes up and giving me a piercing glare with one of his good eye. His one good eye. It sure looks like he is alright hates me. And if I did something faster against him, sometime in his past. I mean, it can be that you were the one who made him lose his eye. It's a possibility. But it also means you lost against him. You already lost against him because he's still alive. Right?
Yeah, right.
I mean, even if you didn't lose, you didn't win either because he got away. It is true that it is quite ironic that he finds himself in a position where he, in order to protect me, is sad. But in the mission statement of his Lord said he had. And said that he said God is very loyal and obedient to him. If all of it is true, a very small part of me wants to rob that in. But frankly, I feel far too intimidated by this guy to entertain any serious notions towards him. Yeah, he's doing a good job.
Yeah.
Prevention is the best method to subjugation. If you fear your life enough to not even dare to attack, then he does his job.
Batman understood that.
What?
Batman understood that.
Yeah? I continued to follow Salazar until we arrived at the last room I saw before I fainted. Once again, we are standing in some kind of library with multiple exits, one of which is where we just came from, another in the entrance to this place. You said multiple exits, it's an entrance. Another exit. Wait a second. Why does that meme come to my mind all the time? You know that one, right?
I'm wondering which one you're referring to.
This one. The very old one. Wait a minute. I say me sure, and therefore if it's moment. Are we still inside the ship? You mean this whole academy is inside the ship? This way, if you will. There are many associations to the exit of the ship. There is more for me to show you. Yeah, they were still in there. Seeing them again, I replied with a big stare. Okay, I am following him. All the thoughts lives away from me, and I proceed. So I proceeded to the main entrance and I did to his place. He opened the door, stepped outside, and using the right move gestured dramatically beyond. Already, I guess he realized some dark gray on his office of some kind. I don't know where exactly. I stand beyond the threshold of the ship. Once I knew, I looked back and I watched curved up follow us out of the vessel as well. I also noticed we seemed to have stepped beyond the door, a bit into what appears to be some giant boulder. Wait a minute!
Yeah, I noticed that when you scroll down.
I didn't. I was. There is no way we are doing this. I remember telling off my back. Wasn't the ship in the form of some marbles as you before? I mean, didn't they tell you that it can change forms? I think they did. It had a chameleon circuit, so that explains to me. Then it's time of technology. It allows the vessel to blend in where they materialize, unless the circuit is broken for some reason. So the ship can shift too. I asked with rising fascination. Am I the grandmother of the time lord? In the matter of speaking, yes, I thought. It's a certain issue for this kind of vessels. I turned my head at him and I asked him, and what do you mean by materializing? The primary, but not exclusive method that these ships tend to travel is that they akin to transportation. Sarah explained to me, it is more about dimensional travel. If you had been standing outside of this thing and observing it and it dematerialized, it would seem like it is going invisible, but in actuality, it is no longer there. Once it travels through a dimensional tunnel, it materializes elsewhere in time and space. He gestures to something ahead of him and above us. For example, I look up where he's gesturing, then a lump freezes in my throat when I behold an entire world he's gesturing to. I can show you the world.
Right?
Where are we? I asked in a lump shock.
Another layer of coincidence there is he actually does come from a Arabian culture.
Yeah? I mean, not really coincidence, but yeah. Because he is a descendant of Aladdin, who lost his memories in the beginning.
That's right.
It is for me to know what he gestured and gestured. We are currently standing on the moon that orbits our home world. I go at this before I ask. That is expressio. Literally, what's happening right now? It always has been. And if they literally say always has been, I will cry. On the corner of my eye, I noticed him nothing as he does. And then some. A lot more. I guess there is just one continent in that world, my dear. You are beholding the entire planet from the privacy of its moon. Good, it didn't say it. I moved my jaw up and down, but no words came out. I want to show you something that proves I know nothing about the capability of this ship. He later showed her the rod.
Yep.
Tata explains behind me. Now that you have seen this, I have probably gained more credibility in your eyes. I really hope that will also mean I will gain your cooperation. I mean, can you truly believe you are outside of the TARDIS right now? It is said the TARDIS can make it look like that you are editing the TARDIS.
It's capable of shape-shifting inside and out.
And we know it can make a illumination room, a whole VR room.
Yeah.
I can't see anything anymore. At this point, I will give up trying. The whole element that in your time that goes on as he starts to look ahead of me. It isn't just that for you, my dear. It may be that she has no agenda against you whatsoever. One thing that is still possible, I decided that it would be best to include you in the fall. From ahead of me, he spins about to face me. When he does, a bit of moon dust around his hooves briefly floats up for a moment, then it usually floats back down. From there, he said, it's just a line that she had other agendas. And this might appear as well. I think would the moon dust float back down at all? I mean, the moon does have gravitational field as well, but
It's got gravity, but it's lighter.
yeah, it will fall back down, but not slower. Yeah, but there is no air distance, so it will actually just fly up and never return. As well. It's just like she has other agendas in this time period as well. Even if that is the case, it needs to be solved. There are plenty other ways she can tamper with history as well. Tana attended his mic as he announced it seriously. One of the things we know about her is at some point she has crafted a scepter that can project a powerful and nightmare illusion. Using that, she has spent some mysterious and ominous work across certain regions of Equestria. Ah, so that's why the Nazgûls were there. And it's gradually growing. In the first chapter of this. The conversation is starting to shift into more familiar territory for me. I shouldn't care about my life overall, but I think Equestria is high on my priority list too. What changed, right? It seems on this point he wants to receive Equestria.
Yeah, that's her job.
I mean, if you think about that, even as she doesn't want to destroy Equestria, she just wants to take over. She's not evil, she's just another ruler of another country, another race. It seems like this Mr. Tat possesses Tata's most. At this point of the conversation, I can fall back upon much more familiar habits. Tata further announced it. We also know some opponents got swallowed up in the storm. She might be holding them as hostage and the bargaining chip. For some reason too, he may be working with another criminal organization leading to his land and timeline. How do you suggest we proceed? I asked him carelessly. Sasha aimed his left eye at me squarely as he asked, "Weren't you making some progress on that front? Some way to find that second base?" I got floored by that question. How did he know that? Future knowledge, my dear friend. He's not a sworn agent of mine either. I mean, how do you even know that? He might be in the future. So my humans are a bit tight at the moment. I shouldn't confide the secret of our operation, but I'm not entirely sure if it's worth holding anything back from this silent either. If he's telling the truth, he would help us against this threat from the future. I mean, if they wanted to, they could torture knowledge out of you and then make you forget that you told them. Right? It's a possibility.
Yeah, it's possible.
It sounds like he already knows much more about it than anyone in Mexican organization right now. Ah, if I answer that, tell me what you were doing with them. I checked with him. My boss said you seem to be doing some business with them before. That's why he sent me after you. Find out what you know. Send a note at me as I said. Alright enough. Long story short, I was doing some sleuthing on my own before you arrived. The reason why I did it was to figure you out, my dear. My dear? Is it a mistake?
Yes, it is.
Didn't you recognize my Sherlock Holmes outfit, by the way? I was literally holding a bomber 5 for the same reason. I was aware that I was secretly being tagged by other agents of mine, you see, and counted on the knowledge. I wanted to make sure them suspicious enough that they would send their best agent after me, find out more about what I knew. What were they after? I checked with him. They wanted more mining cars. Ah, so they want to play Minecraft. Yes, that's to me. Also, they wanted them of the record. How were they planning to pay for the service? I go further. With lots and lots of shelves. He told me. They showed me some of their wares too. I can tell you that they are legit. I can also tell you that they were freshly got. Whatever they are getting these things from, they gained them recently. I mean, if we think about that, all they are doing is just mining. If they have the permit, which I don't even know if they need permit for that.
Let me ask you this then. Pretend for a moment it's perfectly legit. Everything about it is legal. Why would they still want to hide it? Is there any advantage to that?
I mean, the only advantage to that is actually getting more money, because now literally they cut the middleman and they don't need unicorns to cut the gems, because they got the new item.
Well, they don't risk their discovery being the secret to be spread. Also, they gather some resources financially that maybe some of their enemies are not prepared for because they don't know where this money's coming from.
Yeah. So this part is fine. It's actually okay. It's instantly get the territory because who knows? Because they are not they are getting everything off the record. But They are not doing anything illegal at the moment. But when they are using the money that they get from it, it's gonna be the thing. That's gonna be a problem.
Yeah. And by the way, that paragraph, that the information there, is edging closer towards something that actually was established in canon for the show.
Are they mining other catalogs? We know there's gem mine there.
We know that Chrysalis knew it too, but we also knew that was obscure knowledge. Very few others knew about it.
Yep, and there were
And
minecart
that
there.
that
as well.
man that mine was abandoned a long time ago.
Makes sense. You also with your story about them wanting to more mining cards. I feel too truthfully. And they are hoping to increase production. It seems like there are more of that too. They found a gem mine somewhere around Canterlot. Yup, it is that mine. I am in total of that mine where Canada was put as a prisoner. They were originally interested in other things too, that I go on to say. But yet, if things went well on their end, they were going to make a whole list of other things as well. But mining equipment and perhaps even other workers. There's only workers who know how to keep their mouths shut. Also, now that they have the equipment that one mining tool that got without a unicorn, they can literally take it away and replicate it.
You have to figure out how to reverse engineer it. And remember, the important thing is about it, it's a sonic cutting tool that doesn't require magic. That might be important.
And
Why
also,
do they need to make sure it doesn't require magic? Because they probably do have access to unicorns.
Also, it was made by someone who doesn't know how to use magic either.
Right. Wedge was a unicorn, so you can definitely know they had some in their organization.
Yeah.
But for some reason, that tool was coveted. They stole it from... Oh my goodness, I forgot the name of that. The venture... Cloudy Skies.
Yeah. So they literally are cutting a lot of costs. Because unicorns are probably very expensive at this point to work with.
Yeah, that's true. They're expensive enough to become nobility in their own right, but there's some drawbacks to that. While they're primarily used as artificers in this time period, which means they got to do it even if their cutie mark points at something else.
Yeah.
The demand is just so high for that profession.
I mean, they don't have to do it, but they should do it because that's where the money is.
You're probably right. They're just heavily encouraged to that path.
And how did this guy hear of you? I checked with him. If you are a time traveler from the future, you should have much history in my time, correct? How do you know I'm not planting a history from myself? In that case, how did they hear of you, and why would they be interested? I think superpowers I really am attracted and wealthy merchant, and you can imagine a member of the royal family outside Arabia would be. It has been a lot to me. I mean, even you surmised in the beginning that I am a merchant. As for how and why they are proud of me, both me and the agency I work for started to certain evidence and caused here and there. Some of it is legit and some of it is not. In any case, it was enough to get them interested in me. Plus, he knows that the ship behind me. You might be surprised how much and how easy I can smuggle goods when I have access to the TARDIS. That's how I made up my fortune in other words at that period. I mean, yeah, if you had access to a TARDIS, you could literally do the same as they did with the ice blue lily. You might get something that has been abandoned in the past and get it back to the future, where it's very expensive and very rare.
Yeah, imagine if Han Solo had a TARDIS and what he could potentially do with it.
I mean, he wouldn't be in that moment, then. He would be hiring Jabba, not the other way around. Following his nod, I look at the ship. Question, which still looks like a big rock. But not for the open door with it. It's not just a rock, it's a TARDIS. And I look at him, and I ask, how are we even standing here? Not suffocating. There you go.
It's just a boulder. It's a rock.
Or even better. Well, we know it can be. It could be. Could have been.
Actually, go back to that. I got a better response that Mod would probably give. Don't rock it until you try it.
Ah. I never met him and I asked, how are we even standing here and not doing anything? The ship has the capability of projecting a protective field around it, so that answered me. With a field, it can create a protective environment. Also, there is no better question to ask. We are on the moon. Where is Luna? Where is Nightmare Moon? I mean, she has been cast on the moon, not in the moon. Right? I mean, she... Otherwise, she wouldn't be able to come back. I have another question that might seem out of left field. But my opinion is... Wait! There is no way!
You're getting good.
Wait! We are thinking the same. I feel like we are thinking the same. Where is Princess Luna? I think with him. Or as she might be better known at this time than my moon. So wanted his eyes at me as he was. Wow! You know about the man in the moon. Wait, in the moon. He was in. So I assume became part of the moon. At that moment. Because magic.
Yeah.
And I was not to understand during my native time that was common knowledge back in your time. In fact, there wasn't common knowledge among mine either. Yeah, but she is a spy. It's her job to know things.
That's true. A little more informed than most average ponies at the time.
I first met Princess Celestia at the Castle of Two Sisters. I explained to him. I got her doing a particularly vulnerable one that caused most of us to open up to each other. Since she was feeling nostalgic in a sorrowful way, she explained to me her history with her sister. But she left out a lot of parts, like how she did it.
Very much so, yeah. She was definitely being evasive about the elements of harmony. Just kept insisting to Crackle, I took care of it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Wow! He looks in the shoulder and native blood behind him. And she's knitting there a while for his heart. Well, I suppose if he was ever going to explain that story to anybody, it makes sense it would be there. I almost didn't say this last bit, but since I have such a crush on this stallion, and I want to prove that I'm worth keeping by his side, I am. It was also why she told me that to find the spell that allowed me to transform. I explained as he looked back at me. When I mastered the spell 2 years later, I got a mysterious invitation from the idiot smile. I bet I know who put them up to it.
For context, Twilight probably did manage to cast that spell in a considerably shorter time, but I do not think she mastered the spell to the degree that Crackle did.
I mean, we know that Salazar is not a Time Lord right now. If he was, I would have called that the Korean, or what the Zimmer's name was Salazar.
Yeah, you were correct. Is Zakarian.
Yeah.
Zakarian
But we know
the zebra.
he isn't the one.
Hmm.
I mean, he still can be part of his group. Hired by him.
Yeah, Crackle personally believed that Zakarian is so formidable that he is beyond mortal concerns. But that's just her impression of him.
Yeah. That makes sense. Salazar agreed. But then I wanted to replay the favor she gave me. I got to say. Plus, it gave me something useful to do. Doing this kind of work has been solidifying my own confidence. Also, ever since I started this job, I learned how much work it takes to keep things as peaceful as they are. I care about our land, and I know it means a lot to the princess as well. By having her to plan that which she cares about, I feel it will go a long way to repay her for her kindness. Besides, I am paying pretty well for my services, even if I can't be totally clear where the spot came from. I mean, there is that vaccine express here?
I don't know, but probably. Because there are public services, aren't there? Like funding for Pinky's parties?
Yeah, but I mean, even if there are taxes, the one you are taxing to knows where the funds come from.
Really?
That's what I was able to build my own home, private ATM, I collect all kinds of marks, some of which have been useful on my missions on occasion too. Just like the last one. I gained immediately. That's how I will be able to take down that new secret base. I planted a bug that I will be able to take down later on the device they took from me while I was in another form. I mean, imagine that. They take apart the device and there are hundreds of cockroaches coming out of it. My boy, I think you mean little insect that just with me. I nodded and I explained. Well, does he indicate a pheromone? One that can be taken down, except by another member of the same species. I
It was
see.
from a filler episode, but that plot line actually appeared in Naruto as well.
Ah,
By the ninja you would expect the most, the one that specialized in bugs.
yeah, the hidden two extra hero of the story. Yeah, that should be useful. As I said, with a truthful expression. I shouldn't be telling you this, I say with a frown. And you can well imagine what you can even tend to be tight-lipped, especially over an issue that involves national security. I mean, I would need to bring you back in handcuffs or hoofcuffs. You are literally the biggest threat right now to national security. You have a
And
time
Smile
traveling
knows access.
face.
Oh yeah, Smile knows access to mind magic as well, like memory spells,
Yeah,
which I think makes perfect sense for that profession. It's like
and
a
then,
non-violent way to deal with their threats.
I mean, we don't know how violent it is.
Hmm.
The main reason I'm telling you any of this is because I believe you can be ahead to my mission. However, I will need to report all of this to my boss eventually. Okay, but only after we are deleted your memory of it. And you are going to tell them that we are time travelers. And ask me with a raised eyebrow. Also, I have never seen my boss, but I'm gonna go and tell him. And then she goes home and goes, I need to see the boss. Okay? And turns eyes in the boss's chair. I don't have to go that far. I assure him in the minor penny, since I don't want to give him further incentive to raise my memory of him. I can tell him that you are Pony, who is interested to aid in my operation. I will move at him. It can become any excuse necessary to explain that. You did that for my enemies, so I figure you can do that for my allies too. I show you an ad. If you do this, we can take on the resources of the rest of my agencies too, up to a point. And my make them more useful as you go after the primary target. Besides, if I don't want to keep them in the dark, when it comes to outside shapeshifter. The only suspected one was in play. If I confirm it, they can set up security measures in some meaningful way. I turn my hand at him. Isn't that something that your target does not want us to do? To make your targets more alert? Are you sure that's not the thing she wants? You make a good point. But I fast. I see those of you skills to it. Anyway, this is your profession, and you are the best agent of your time. I think you are the best position to make a professional call here. So I leave it up to you. Certainly says that looks at somebody, or the someone behind me. I think he said another person. I will guess make a little some planning in disapproval. Based on what I have seen from most of them, it seems that God is very reluctant to accept my suggestion, and he didn't want the league to do so either. I had the feeling he doesn't like me for some reason. I looked around, like Randy said now. I told you before, he is silent because he does have to. It doesn't mean that he doesn't like you. And now we are feeling so that, yeah, it was literally just cover up, because it's not he's not talking. It's his whole body language. He didn't me with a kind look in his eyes, as he said, "Well, you're not wrong, but comes some sense to be very cautious with any pony. It's in his job to protect me, after all, and he would prefer to stay clear of things that make his job harder." He looked back at his own guard with a slightly sad look and said aloud, "But what he needs to know is that as an agent of Knight of the Hourglass, I'm not out here to play safe. Instead, my mission is to perform a very meaningful action. Aside from that, adventuring is just playing fun for me. And I don't have anybody to spoil the fun." His eyes came back to me, while his face remained directed at his guard. He said to me, "As this kind of practice among my family, I've been very well trained in any skill and profession that have me to secure the ongoing prosperity of my nation. Why isn't so saddened to my family? What isn't so saddened to my family, however, is I'm an adventurer too. I want to explore what is out there, and my adventure in the Maxim are planning to be a wonderful opportunity to do that without seeing my notice too much. Shocking, not shrinking."
Yeah.
Also, you can hear my voices going away a little bit.
I think it means something similar to forsaking.
Yeah. I mean, it also means shaking as well, to think less of it.
Yeah, I heard you about your voice, by the way, but
Yeah.
you're nearly done. 3 paragraphs.
Don't leave me, I tell him in a high-job way. I wouldn't be surprised if my eyes morphed into heart symbols at him. I mean, you can do that. I would love to do that too. I bet you would. I said with a kind grin at me. Behind me, I think I hear the Minotaur growl because of that. In the meantime, you get to do some of that right now. He gets back to the entrance of the ship as he writes politely. After you, finally. I look at him and I invite him questioningly. "So, I suppose you are dodging my question about Princess Lord's fate on this moon." Yeah, because that's a spoiler. The remainder of the story is for another era. So that informed me as to the way back to Maxim. For the moment, and there's work to conclude this one. I mean, if Princess Charlton didn't say everything to you, then you don't deserve to know.
Formatting for the indent for the paragraph gets weird at the beginning and the end, especially the beginning of these film fiction. But it's written accurately on my documents.
This is not a problem, but it's fine. So, I'm gonna assume for once that in the future, or in their past and her future, he is gonna attack Herza.
Perhaps, but she may not remember him, so why would she target him?
I mean, because she is evil and they are against her at this point.
Okay. Well, that's not true right now. They're protecting her, and she has a similar role herself.
Yeah. Well, now, I mean, she has to become the evil part. Because there is no Batman without the Joker. This is only her role. Because
Yeah, he's
without
not
her,
specifying what she does in the future other than mention the fact she spawns a new race. I mean, but that's it. That's all he said.
I mean, we know without her, the Express we know is gone.
And if that species doesn't exist, then anyone who would have been spawned from them also doesn't exist in all of their deeds. So, yeah, that's why he's being very protective of her.
I mean, that would actually be the thing as well. If she doesn't exist, then Card Shark wouldn't come with the Doctor either to save his
Well, at the
homeland.
very least, Card Shark wouldn't have had a changeling assistant
Yeah?
that he'd later betray and abandon.
I still wonder
But
what the goal of Maya is.
imagine a descendant of Thorax's group from, say, 2,000 years later in the future, where there is one changeling among them, their race, that heroically saved an entire world.
Hmm.
That individual, too, would not have existed if she didn't.
Yeah, that's what
Therefore,
I said as well.
that world would have been doomed. So,
I mean,
all of that.
that's almost what happened. Literally. When all the money was sent away, they came back as well. So yeah, you suddenly have to become Israelis and do what you need for the future to be prevented from falling apart.
Who's to say there might not have been some heroes that wouldn't have arisen if it weren't for Chrysalis being the problem?
I mean,
Sometimes the reason the protagonists become so great is because the antagonists were there to drive them forward.
once again, we don't even know when Kisa took over killers. When was that? I'm gonna assume it's not on that day. It was multiple days when she was already pretending.
Well, the cadence was the real cadence that is was calling herself the bride to be. So I'm pretty sure it occurred after she arrived at Candlelight sometime, because she was expecting to actually marry Shining Armor. She wasn't in the cave thinking, I want to see Shining Armor, but I had no idea about wedding plans. That wasn't me. That was her. No, that's not the truth. They did decide to marry each other. Uh,
I
so
mean,
it occurred after that point.
wedding plans is a long time. At least in our real life, you don't just go, okay, let's marry tomorrow. You plan this for months, let's say, or at least weeks. You get the place, you get the clothes, you get to invite everyone.
I either guess that Chrysalis replaced Cadence either on the way towards Canterlot or at Canterlot when Chrysalis was already there and the barrier was established around her, kind of trapping her inside, actually.
Yeah. Also, it would make sense that she got her outside of Gatos, then moved her back to Gatos on the. That would make no
Yeah.
sense. But yeah, that is it for today. Tomorrow we are
Maybe you can
going.
maybe you can see why the chapter was titled this. I mean, Crackle started out pretty confused, but as the conversation started to shift more towards why he's here and what he can do for in service of Questria, that begins to get to familiar territory for Crackle because she's a spy, and they were starting to talk about the spy language.
The next chapter is gonna be Agent That Unknown. It's gonna be in 2 days. On your birthday. I mean, we are starting not on your birthday and then we are ending on your birthday, right?
Yeah, it's starting it really close to my birthday, almost like only an hour off. And you might be reading for long enough that towards the end, it actually will be my birthday. I actually like my birthday date. It's 123.
Ah. And let me here.
Something new you put in. The actual title of the chapter.
That's not me.
Arab? Okay.
No.
Oh my god, it's so funny you nailed grape juice.
I kind of really hope the title is honest. I am literally trying to choose one that has nothing to do with it. I mean, Sam has probably can. Because
I wasn't
know
just
that
amused, I was almost in awe of you of that.
I mean, me too. I am literally thinking that you are going back and adding those words.
Well, now it's a little more possible that you revealed that first, but still. No, I'm impressed. And you know what? You steadily started to show more psychic potential in other ways too, because you saw well, at least similarities from one story to the next and the next, and then it's like you make some connection to it, and then some of your predictions end up right. It occurred several times in this story. Like you made a quote, like, "Oh yeah, what about Luna? Is she here?" And then the next sentence you read.
We are thinking the same way. But yeah, tomorrow we are going to do Haunted of Justice. We are continuing the primary story. We will see what everything is.
I will see that.
See you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.
Oh wow, that's 22 hours from now and 22 minutes.
Is
Neat.
yeah.
What if it was 22 seconds in that moment I announced that?
I mean, for me, it's 32 hours and 30. Wait, 37 minutes. Go differently, it seems.
That, and I've set my alarm a little bit earlier than 11, so that I had some time to wake up and start my computer and plug it in and all that.
Yeah, it's good that you wake up earlier. But yeah, see you next time. Bye. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye bye.